Hey, welcome to Alien Meatballs. Channel is all about board games. I focus on solo games. My name's Clarence, and this video is going to be my top 10 board games released in 2022. I'm using I used BGG as far as the release date goes, and I know that like games might say they're released in 1 year, but they get released at different times, different areas of the world. Doesn't end up being 100% accurate, but the most important part, so I'm just gonna, as long as I use the same source, BGG, then at least like when I do my 2023 video or any other year video, they at least won't have like the same one. So as long as I use the same source, it'll be organized and they'll all be on their own list. And that's the most important part, so that you have these yearly lists that don't have the same games on them, right? So I do have a few honorable mentions because it's so hard making these lists. Like even I was sitting here, like when I was writing down my top 10, and it's like I see like my top 10 through 20. It's like, oh my god, those are all so good too. Like how I want to talk about them. So, anyways, I'm not going to talk much about the honorable mentions, but I'll just kind of list them off real quick so you at least know what some of those were. And there is like one or two that I do want to say a couple things about. But yeah, all right. So my honorable mentions: First Rat, Batman: Dark Knight, Masters of the Universe. I think it's Clash for Eternia, but it's the He-Man skirmish game, Mosaic, which is a civilization game, and Carnegie. The first one that I do want to mention is First Rat. So I hadn't actually played First Rat until last night, and I did my ranking for this. Went through it all yesterday during the day before I played. I played First Rat last night, and then I played it 3 times in a row. And I'm not really the kind of person that usually does that, like back-to-back games. It's really fun. It's medium, light, but it's just really cool. You got these little rats. You're going through a junkyard. You're trying to decide whether you want to move one mouse like 5 spaces or your other mice a little bit shorter, and figuring out like all the different resources, like things you're going to collect to try to get points. And it's fun, and it's very snappy and fast, and I really liked it. And then the other one I do want to mention is the Batman Dark Knight, because that one's just really cool. If you haven't played it, it's got that like core system of like putting out fires and managing the problems going on while trying to accomplish your main goal. But it's really fun because you write on the board and you can draw like these little trails to make new connections. So you're walking from location to location following like your paths, but you can make your own paths, and that really feels like Batman. And like it just feels like you're like using your batarangs or whatever he's using, and shooting across and just getting around this world. So it has a really good feeling. But yeah, so the other ones are all really cool too. Masters of the Universe is a skirmish game, but what's really cool is all of your characters, like every single character in the game, all have these fun, different like special abilities. So there's so many characters to mix and match and play. In the solo mode, like the AI, you can use any of the characters against, like as an AI or against the AI, either side. Very good. But all right, let's sorry, I'm a noob and I always hit this microphone. My number 10, I'm starting the list. So my number 10 is a game that has this really cool dice mechanic, kind of like some tableau building. It's a game that's like, usually when this company comes out with the games, they make them part of a trilogy. This one is Wayfarers of the South Tigers. Wayfarers of the South Tigers, not sure. But yeah, so my favorite part of this game is the dice mechanic. And it's really cool because like you have this kind of like a little chart that will show you like, hey, when you roll the dice, when you roll ones, your ones count as like this one little symbol. It's you do one thing. Your fours are nothing. Well, as you play through the game and upgrade, you upgrade that little like dice mechanic through like some tile placement, and eventually like when you roll a 3, it can count as like 3 different symbols, or so you're making your numbers of your dice count as different things. And that's just really cool, like customizing your die in that way. But then also like the tableau building is cool, and it's got this worker placement that is very far from like the highlight of the game, but it still has this worker placement that's fun. This is fun. It's a very thinky, puzzly game. I like it a lot. The dice mechanic is super cool. So that's Wayfarers of the South Tigers, my number 10. My number 9 is a dungeon crawler that's very much like just a dice chunking dungeon crawler, but it's unique because all of your hero characters have like their own mechanic they use for playing the game. This one is Massive Darkness 2. I never played the first one, but everyone says that the first one was not like this one as far as that thing I'm talking about with the characters. So that is my favorite part, is that like I like dungeon crawlers, but I really like how it's like easy and accessible. Dice chunking's not crazy thinky, but at the same time, instead of your character just being like, hey, you got 3 actions, pick whether you're going to move, attack, and do your special, like you're actually using like a special mechanism for that character. And if you want to play the game, the exact same game, but using a different mechanism, you can use a different hero character. So like I haven't played it much. I think I only played it once, but the character that it was a bag builder. So like you're using this bag building mechanism to play your character. Pretty sure I saw one that was like kind of like a tile placement kind of deal. But anyways, I don't know. There's a bunch of heroes, so like you can be all these different things, all these different mechanics while playing a dungeon crawler. And to me, that's just really cool because you get this like little thinkiness in a dungeon crawler, which is super thematic. So tying in that heavy theme of a dungeon crawler with these fun little thinky mechanics, I think that's always going to be a win for me. And these are one-off like scenarios, so that's always fun too, right? It's pretty accessible. But I have the campaign box that's going to let you play through a campaign too. I'm just trying to finish my Zombicide campaign before I play this one because I couldn't help it. I wanted to play and see what it was like, but I haven't like got into it because I just want to try to actually finish a darn campaign. I never finish them. So in my Zombicide one, I'm getting so close. They're kind of similar. So that I want to finish that one, then I want to do this one, and I really can't wait. I think the hardest thing is going to be like going through a campaign and using that same character when I want to do the other ones. So I'm hoping that you can like, you know, like if you've played this, can you let me know, like, can you play like through the campaign, be this character, and then the next one be the next character, so that you can keep trying all the different mechanisms? That would be so cool. That's what I'm hoping I can do. If not, whatever, I'm still gonna play it. But so that's Massive Darkness 2. That is my number 9 Rooney. My number 8 Rooney is so my number 8 is, it's one of the worker placement deck building combos that have been getting kind of popular. This one's based in a little winter wonderland, and it's none other than Endless Winter. Endless Winter. My favorite part of this game is this. In this game, you have a lot of different mechanics going on at different places. Like, I mean, you have a little area control map going on. You have this little like tile kind of placement building thing going on. You have set collection. You have deck building. You have worker placement. It's and then like so the set collection is with your animals. You're recruiting these animals, and but you can also, you're trying to like build sets of your animals for points. You can also like hunt one of the animals. You know it's going to kill them, but you can get food if you need it. So it's really cool. But I love all of these different mechanisms going on. Like it's a lot, but it doesn't feel like it doesn't feel too much, and they're all tied together really well, and they're wrapped up in this like beautiful artwork by the Micho, and just the theme. Like, I just kind of like snow anyway, so I like the way it looks and feels. The components are awesome. This is a really good game. That's Endless Winter, my number 8. My number 7 is a space game. It's very much about just going out and exploring space, exploring these different planets, working through your ship, and very like story driven. And it is right there, ISS Vanguard. I actually have this one set up on my other campaign table right now, open. So I've played it a few times, but I've actually only made it through 2 scenarios because I waited too long in between one and had to like refresh the rules. I just want to start over. But so my favorite thing about ISS Vanguard is that story, and it making me want to just go and like explore these planets. It does, like, it starts you off with this story. It tells you like they found these like codes, like coded in your DNA is like a little map to a place out in space, and we got to go and find it, and that kind of starts your story. And so You're gonna go explore, get out to these planets, and then while you're on the planets exploring them, like moving your little minis, as you explore the little locations within that planet, they're feeding you story snippets. It's very like it's just building up this whole world as you go. I've barely even cracked into it, and then in between the story missions, you have the ship management phase, and so the ship management phase, I don't know, like it's not like super amazing to me, but what I really like that I think it's doing is it's tying everything together in a way that it actually makes the story or the like exploration part feel that much more immersive and important, because everything feels like complete. I'm not just like, oh, I'm on this world, now I'm on this world. It's like you're actually like flying to this world, and then you go into the ship management, and like my people that got hurt, they're there, and I'm managing like their injuries and building up my ship, and then I'm going back out to a planet. And so because it has that phase, it makes the world feel real and alive. And so with a story based game, it just makes it that much easier to get into the story and be immersed into it, and feel like you're there. So it's really cool. That game is it's ISS Vanguard by Awaken Realms, and that one was my number 7. My number 6 is this cool game that I'm pretty sure I've heard nobody talk about this game on the channel, and I watch a lot of channels. If I am, I'm just forgetting, but I don't know if it was a Kickstarter game, hasn't had like a wide distribution. I mean, it hasn't had a wide distribution, but I would have thought I'd see someone talk about it by now. But you're on this like little this little group of islands, and there's gods, and you're trying to keep the gods happy, but they're getting mad, and they're well, so this one is Tindaya. My number 6 is Tindaya, by Red Mojo Games. So like I said, yeah, you have like your little map, and there's different islands, and my favorite thing about it is just like how evolving the land and the world is on this one. So like you're on your little tiles in your land, but the gods will be like flooding out the land, and that's changing the structure of it. Like volcanoes erupting, which forms more land. And like if you have your like multiple animals of the same kind on a little tile, after the rounds they'll breed. You can you have like this little board that lets you kind of upgrade different paths, and like there's like multiple columns, and like if you want to maybe upgrade this certain tool or be better at this thing, you have to do this one first and go down. So you're kind of figuring out the things that you want to be good at, and it's just really cool. But my favorite thing is how much the world the little earth is moving around, and you're trying to move on it, but everything's changing and puzzling through that. It's very hard and very cool and unique. I really like that one. So that's Tindaya. I guess that's how you say it. I don't know. I just go with it. But my number 5 is a game where you've like washed up onto this onto this land, and you're trying to start building up like huts, start your little like society, or like start living, I guess, a little bit. But these dinosaurs are making it hard. They were on the land first, and they're coming and bum rushing your island, or your huts and stuff. This one is right there, Perseverance. Now this one has episodes 1 and 2. I have not played episode 2 yet, which I actually think there's a good chance I'm gonna like it more, because that one has like where you go and explore tiles and flip them over, and I really love that in games. But so far I've only played episode 1, and I really like this game. And my favorite part of this one is that like, so all it's like worker placement through dice, like dice workers. But before the round, at the beginning of the rounds, you roll all your dice, and that's shows you all the different workers you're going to have access to, and then you move your workers, and that's just already a cool mechanic for me. Like not always having you don't know exactly what workers you're going to have, and you got to use what you get. But then so you're using them, doing these like Euro like mechanics, fun strategizing, trying to build things up, build up your little buildings, structures. But you have dinosaurs coming in, trying to take out your different areas and your buildings, and you have to really try to maintain or like manage building up as far as also defending these dinosaurs. And it looks cool. The components are done really well, and the dinosaurs look cool, and you can build up little walls, send out your leaders. It's a very cool game, and I really need to play episode 2. Yeah, so that one So my number 4 is this one is it's kind of like a civilization game, but it's really like a survival, like a civilization survival game, and it's very hard, and everything is like frozen over, and you're trying to build up your buildings, keep people happy, keep things warm. This one is Frostpunk. So Frostpunk, my favorite thing about this one is kind of like just the whole package and the building. So it's very tough. I like that you are actually like it has this exploration feel where you're flipping over the tiles. I like that, and I like that there's actually little buildings that all have their little abilities that you're building out, and you're trying to build up this little civilization and stay alive, and it's very hard, and everything is cold. So you have this generator that's creating warmth, and unless you keep that warmth going, you can't survive. It's too cold. What's cool about the generator, so like you're dropping these little black like coal cubes into the generator to create warmth. Well, there's little bars in there, and they will catch some of those cubes. Well, as the cubes make their way to the bottom and fall out, that is representing like that's representing like your generator breaking down, and eventually, that's bad. Well, what's so cool, just to give you like a little insight into the little tidbits that how much love went into this game. When you upgrade that generator, there's actually like a little plastic piece that you physically put inside the generator, and it captures it, it catches the cubes even better. So you literally physically upgrade this generator, and that's just really cool. And then I also like there's events that come out that's cool, or it's really fun, and it reminds me a little bit of Robinson Crusoe, where like you'll have these cards come out and things are happening, and then you mix them into this deck, and you don't know exactly when they're coming out again, but now you know things that are going to happen. So that kind of is building up this world, like where you know what's going on in the world. It's going to come and affect you later on. You're planning for it, and it's just really cool. So this game is good. I have not won it. I don't think I've even come close, but I have been getting a little bit better. And yeah, I don't know. I can't say I don't care. I want to win, but like I don't care. Even if I don't win, I think I would still just keep on playing. And also, I've seen people say that they've played. There's other scenarios that may be a little bit easier for people. Like maybe it's easier to get resources, but I'm not good at it. Something to work towards, but I just like it. And I like the look of it, and I like snow. Just looks cool. This game is really cool. I love it. And components are super top notch. It's crazy. And the company that makes that Glass Unplugged Glass Cannon Unplugged. So they're making Apex Legends, the game too. I'd back to that for sure. I used to play the video game, and obviously they can make really good games, and I trust them, and I cannot wait. And they got David Turksey doing the solo mode. So Apex Legends, man, that's gonna be so freaking cool. But like they obviously can take video games and make awesome board games, and I am all about it. All right, so that is Frostpunk. That was my number 4. My number 3, and I do apologize if you watch my top games of all time, these ones were from last year, but like they are some of my favorites of all time, so they're here too. But my number 3 is a game that has this evil darkness that's trying to like take over the land, and it's got this tower that's spitting skulls out, and of course it's Return to Dark Tower. This is just the expansion box, but so my favorite thing about Return to Dark Tower is that it kind of reminds me a lot of like the pandemic vibe that I will reference a lot, because it's just that core loop of have an ultimate goal that you're trying to go for while trying to maintain and manage the little problems that are happening. But in this game, it's wrapped up in such a cool theme. So like I feel it gives me the same feeling as when I'm playing Pandemic, but with just like a way cooler theme, the little minis and the tower that's spitting these little skulls out, and they are slowly taking over my buildings, and I got to go try to clear them out before they actually destroy my buildings. It's got this cool app with playing like sounds, but you go under there and you can kind of go through these like little dungeons, like kind of abstracted. It's not like a video game or anything, and then that's where you like fight the enemies, so it kind of tracks some of that stuff for you. But I just really like the whole like vibe and I guess ambiance, or like the look and appeal of this game, and playing like a pandemic-y feeling kind of game, but with a little bit more like detail and little things happening, and wrapped up in like a very thematic, not that pandemic isn't thematic, because it is, but like I like this theme, fantasy and monsters and stuff. It's really cool. So that's Return to Dark Tower, my number 3. My number 2 is a game where you are on Mars in this facility, and you're trying to survive and escape, and there's aliens trying to kill you, and this one is Nemesis Lockdown. So Nemesis Lockdown is I like the first Nemesis as well. They're both really cool. This is just the one that came out last year in 2022. But yeah, so in Nemesis Lockdown, my favorite part about this game is that so like every game you're trying to like accomplish an objective and escape Mars. But what's so cool, there's multiple ways to escape off, or like escape the facility. There's so many ways to escape the facility, but they're set up in variable ways, and some of them just aren't going to work every game, but you don't know like which ones are going to work. So you got to like kind of research and figure that stuff out. You might be making a plan to exit the facility this way, but then eventually you figure out that's not going to work, and you got to like change your plans. And so that's just it. The stories that it will tell are so cool. Like, for example, you might be, maybe I got to get an alien egg, right? So and then get out of here. So I get an alien egg. Yes. The back door's already open, and the rover's there. It's ready to go. So I'm going to run over there. I'm not too far. So I run over there, but right before I get to the rover, I get into an alien jumps down and fights me. I do fight him off. That's cool. But, he hit me, and I got attacked a little bit. Now I got this card, and I don't know whether I'm infected or not. So like I can either be super thorough and take some extra time and run to the other side of the facility over to the science lab and see if I'm actually infected or not, and try to clean myself up, or I can just risk it. I'm right here at the rover. I can just go. I can go and get out of here, and I'm safe, right? But if the game ends and then you got to check, and if you were infected, you lose anyway. So like that decision is always going to be happening. Like, how thorough do you want to be, and like, do you even have the time to be thorough? Do you want to get out of here? It's so cool. Like it's always telling this very immersive story, and that kind of stuff makes you feel like you're there making these decisions. That's the kind of stuff you have to figure out when you're in a heated decision like that. Like adrenaline, it gives you that feeling of that you have when you have adrenaline. Like, I'm just gonna go for it, split decision, or no, let's think it out. And then you're not super strong, like you're strong enough to kind of survive, but you don't feel like a complete hero. Like these heroes, the aliens do scare you. So that's Nemesis Lockdown. And my number one is a game where you're these cool little robots. You pick different robots, and they all have these cool little special abilities, and you are trying to infiltrate these corporate offices in a futuristic setting. And it's Burn Cycle. Burn Cycle is by Chip Theory Games, and my favorite part about Burn Cycle is a combination of like how stealthy it is and all the special abilities of like the little robots that you get to pick. So like just at the beginning of each game, flipping through like your little robots and heroes and deciding which one you want to be based on their cool abilities, like it's really fun and changes it up. And then while you're playing the game, it's not just like grab and smash and do stuff. Like, you're really trying to be super stealthy, so you're puzzling things out. And as a solo player, that's really fun. I want to like puzzle and think. And then the theme is so well done. It's all like cyberpunk, or like like you're trying to hack. There's these terminals everywhere. You're trying to hack into the terminals, and those will give you special abilities. You have your special abilities. All these doors are locked, and you got to like try to hack through the locks to unlock them. Well, one of the characters I like to be is Crash, and he can just like break the wall down, so I can walk to the lock. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't want to mess with that right now. Just bust through the wall and go through. So this game is just it's really fun. It's super cool. And yeah, I will probably get everything and anything that they put out for Burn Cycle. And I have like the little metal minis or bronze minis that are coming. Yeah, this one's really cool. So anyway, that's my top 10 from 2022. Thank y'all very much for watching the videos. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more and be notified of them, just hit the little subscribe button. Doesn't cost me money or do anything. It will just put my videos in your subscription list. And if you like the video, you can just like it. And thank y'all very much for checking out the video. I appreciate y'all very much. Channel's Alien Meatballs. My name's Clarence, and see you later.